CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
The kickoff temperature is 61 degrees. It's the warmest December home game at Arrowhead since 1994, but the weather will be a factor with this rain been coming down all day and the wind fluctuating between 8 and 15 miles per hour for Mike McCoy in his third season as the Chargers head coach. He told us it poured at practice on Friday in San Diego, which is rare, but he was happy that they got a taste of the rain on Friday during their practice. And on the other sideline, it's Andy Reid, also in his third year. What a job he has done this season with this massive turnaround for the Chiefs, looking for their 7th straight win today. The Chiefs won the coin toss. They have deferred, and they will kick it away to the Chargers.
I've played, Steve Berline, you have played in this stadium as well. When this crowd starts getting this tomahawk thing going, it's like an avalanche. This team feeds on it. This is a difficult venue to play in. The conditions are going to make it even worse. The Chargers are banged up, and it's exactly the kind of game when you see some teams rise up and pull a win off that nobody believes they can.
The Florida State tomahawk chop has got nothing on this one. I'm telling you, you're down there on the field, you feel like every one of these people is trying to hit you on the head.
Spoken like a true Golden Domer as Cairo Santos kicks it away to Javonte Herndon. Herndon at the 20 has some room across the 30. And a nice return by the first-year man of Arkansas, gain of 33 on the return. So here comes Phillip Rivers, as we mentioned, added to the injury report because of the flu. Something to keep an eye on today.
No doubt. And Phillip Rivers, the ultimate gamer. It takes a lot more than a little flu bug to knock him out, but obviously it was significant. They were protecting him yesterday, and we'll see how his stamina and his overall strength is affected today by it.
They're coming out in 2 backs in a power formation. We'll see if they're committed to the run game today.
They started on the ground with Melvin Gordon, and Gordon trying to push forward for a couple of yards. Gordon was benched last week after fumbling twice against the Broncos. As we look at the starting lineups, DJ Fluker, a no-go, still has not passed concussion protocol, so Kenny Wiggins starts at right guard. And Malcolm Floyd, we spoke with him yesterday. He is still committed to retiring at the end of the year.
Yeah, he's got a 70-yard touchdown, and the Chargers would love to get another long play out of him today to help him ease this crowd out of the game.
Rivers over the middle, caught by Herndon, and he's tackled about a half-yard shy of a first down by Ron Parker. It'll be 3rd down as we look at the Kansas City defense, and once again, Dontari Poe starting in the middle for Mike DeVito. Justin Houston will not play. D. Ford gets the start as Gordon is tackled for a loss on 3rd and short. It was Josh Mauga who got in the backfield, and a quick 3-and-out by the Chargers offense.
Well, right here, Kenny Wiggins picks up the tackle, and Mauga just comes right in between the guard center as both guard center were occupied, and he shoots the gap right on top of the run play. No chance.
So Mike Cyphers punts it away, and Hammond on the return for the Chiefs. Hammond has some room. A flag is down behind the play. Hammond down the sideline. Cyphers is able to knock it out. Now there is a flag back at the 18-yard line. And the Chargers are indicating it's against Kansas City.
Cyphers is slow to get up as well. That's one thing a punter is not used to doing, is taking a big collision, and the returners, when you get loose and the punter's on you, got no chance. Here's Tay to take the guy.
Illegal block in the back. Number 20, the receiving team, half the distance to the goal. First down.
Pete Morelli, our referee today, that negates a 58-yard return.
Right there. He tried to hold off, but it's just not going to happen. That's an easy call. It happens out in space. Steve Nelson.
Nelson, the rookie out of Oregon State. So here comes Alex Smith, now backed up after that penalty in his 11th year out of Utah. 3 interceptions, the fewest of anyone in the league with 150 attempts or more.
And the knock on Alex Smith the last few years, despite the fact that he's got an incredibly high winning percentage, which is the bottom line, is that he doesn't push the ball up the field. And that is very true in general. He does not throw the ball up the field. Probably, I think, the third fewest attempts down the field, over 21 yards. But he's been very efficient on those throws this year with Jeremy Maclin down the field.
Smith to throw on first down, caught by Maclin, and Jason Verrett makes the tackle. Verrett told us last night he's going to cover Maclin exclusively today. Zach Fulton starts at left guard. Jeff Allen, a no-go because of an ankle injury today. He's inactive. And Travis Kelce, such a big part of this Kansas City offense.
Kelce is absolutely spectacular when he gets the football in his hands. There's no more effective tight end running the football. He's got a great relationship with Alex Smith. We'll see a lot of him today.
Maclin gets 9 on first. It's 2nd down and 1. Smith back to the air. Out route to Maclin. Right back to him. 2 plays, 2 catches for Maclin, and a first down for Kansas City. As we look at the Chargers defense and changes up front with Legit out. Ricardo Matthews and Ryan Carruthers will start. Denzel Perriman, the rookie, had 15 tackles last week in the loss to the Broncos. And in the secondary, Brandon Flowers, the former Chief, put on IR yesterday. Patrick Robinson starts in his place.
Yeah, Robinson hasn't played very many snaps, but he's been good when he's in there. He's got an interception, a forced fumble, and 7 passes defense.
Spencer Ware with his first carry to the outside with some room. Spencer Ware with a flag down is dragged out at around the 40-yard line. Flag came from the secondary.
And this is going to be a hold against Kansas City. Right at the end of the line of scrimmage, you saw how Ware bounced it out.
Holding. Number 82 offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Yeah, Brian Parker, the tight end, got called for that on the outside, and it happened just as he bounced to the outside. That's why he got the edge, and the official threw the flag in from deep down the field.
And that negates a 15-yard run for Ware.
There he is. He's at right there at the very bottom. He's blocking Melvin Ingram. And the problem is that play was designed to go up inside. You could see how Parker was taking away the inside from Melvin Ingram, and then Ware, feeling it open on the outside, bounced it. Parker grabbed on because he caught him off guard. Can't do that. Better off to just let him go.
With 3 on the play clock, Smith gives it to Ware. Trying the outside again, and Ware is able to get close to the 30-yard line before he's shoved out by Perriman and Manti Te'o. 1-2 punch of Spencer Ware and Charkandrick West, and what a difference they've made during this winning streak for Kansas City. We spoke with Andy Reid on Friday. He said when Jamal Charles went down, they brought in about 5-6 different free agent running backs, and as a staff, they felt the 2 best guys were the guys they had on their team.
Yeah, and really, you think back to it, they lose Jamal Charles in the midst of a 1-5 start, and it looked like the sky was falling, and all of a sudden, here they are, number 5 seed in the playoff hunt in December. What a turnaround.
2nd and 6. Smith hit as he throws, and it's caught for a first down. Once again, it's Jeremy Maclin, a gain of 13.
Alex Smith took a shot from Eric Weddle and hung in there.
Eric Weddle came off the edge there. Alex Smith knew it was coming, so it was one of those things. He's such a good athlete, great feet. He got himself set in the pocket, knew he was going to have time to get rid of that football, delivered a strike.
Maclin with 9 catches in each of the last 2 games. The first Chief to do that since Artoni Gonzalez back in 2004. No Chief has ever had 3 straight games with 9 or more catches, and Maclin already with 3 here in the first quarter. Flags fly.
And this is the defense jump.
Defense, outside, neutral zone infraction. 5-yard penalty remaining.
And I'll tell you, you get a lot of stuff coming out of Kansas City because the crowd's so loud you can't hear. That was not the crowd in any way, shape, or form with the Kansas City offense on the field. That was Alex Smith in the hard count. There were about 3 Chargers who were trying to get a jump. Alex Smith saw the blitz coming, gave him the hard count, and got the free 5 yards. Great job by the quarterback on a play that never even happened.
Alex Smith told us Friday he thought that specifically Melvin Ingram is a guy he could get on his cadence today. So keep an eye on that as West finds some room up the middle, and a first down for Kansas City.
Well, we're seeing the 1-2 punch of the Kansas City Chiefs. Charkandrick West, nothing spectacular here, just running straight up the middle. You're going to see a pulling left guard, but Charkandrick West hits it right up inside. The key for these two guys, though, Andy Reid told us that the combination of Ware and West gives you a lot of the same dimensions that Jamal Charles would bring himself. The combination is very effective.
It's Ware this time gets away from Kendall Reyes, but then thrown to the ground by Jerry Atachu, who's having a nice season. Second-year man out of Georgia Tech, 4.5 sacks, and he leads the team with 14 quarterback hits.
And this is the first play by the Chiefs that hasn't gone for positive yards. They've gotten off to a very good start, and it's been great balance by Alex Smith, Andy Reid in this running game. And you know, this is exactly the kind of offense, and I'll tell you, this Chiefs team is built for the playoffs. They don't turn it over, they run it good, they're efficient, and their defense is really nasty.
Second and 12, Smith. And that's another catch from Macklin, his 4th of this drive. Verrett makes the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and short.
Well, when you talk to these teams, we come in and meet with them, they always say, you know, well, we've got this #1 corner, and of course in San Diego's case, it's Jason Verrett, and you pick a guy that you think your guy can match up with. And the Chiefs kind of anticipated that maybe Verrett would be on Jeremy Macklin, and they wanted to test to see if they could get it done. And here in the early going, Macklin's winning the battle.
3rd down and 3. They pitch it to West, and he is stuffed. What a play by Denzel Perriman. 15 tackles last week and a big clutch tackle on 3rd down here today.
Oh, Denzel Perriman was shot out of a cannon. He almost looked like he knew where he was going. Watch right here. He just shoots right through the gap like he knows where this ball is going before the snap even. The offensive lineman had no chance to get up on that second level. That was Mitch Morse, the center, who was trying to get to him. No chance.
We met with him last night. He said that before every game, him and Melvin Ingram tell each other, let's eat. Let's get after it. Well, he was eating West on that 3rd down play, so Kansas City will have to punt. It's Colquitt to Herndon. Herndon lets it go, and it takes a little Chiefs hop inside the 10-yard line.
A flag down.
There is a flag down at the 40-yard line. It's a hold against San Diego. Dustin Colquitt now leads the NFL and punts inside the 10.
And that'll put the ball inside the 4-yard line. It'll be half the distance to the goal line.
7:20 to go, first quarter, no score, Chiefs and Chargers. Back in Kansas City, and the kicker, Josh Lambo, is practicing punts on the San Diego sideline. You'll recall that on San Diego's first punt, Mike Cyphers was a bit shaken up, so Lambo, a former goalkeeper in the MLS, is practicing punts, so we'll see who comes out if the Chargers need to punt on this drive. 7:20 to go, first quarter.
In these conditions, that is significant, an injury to a kicker. Keep your eye on that.
From the 4-yard line, they give it to Melvin Gordon. He gets across the 5. Josh Mago with a big hit for the Chiefs. Gives San Diego a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, you said it early in the open, Steve Berline, that this Chiefs defense has really keyed their turnaround. The turnovers are an enormous part of what goes on. But if you watch them on film, and we mentioned this, the offensive coordinator Frank Reich yesterday, this Chiefs team seems to play with an intensity that it's difficult for offenses to match. And they said, the Chargers told us that was a key for them today.
Back to Melvin Gordon. And he gets a couple. We met with Frank Reich last night, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. He said he's been calling about 20 to 25 runs a game, but he wanted to get a few more today. And even with this rain, you think even a few more on top of that.
I think Frank Reich really felt like, even though the Chargers offense is based on throwing the football, they're the 30th ranked run team in the league, just over 80 yards a game. He really wanted to establish the run today, get Melvin Gordon going, and keep this defense playing honest.
3rd down and 4. So far, 4 runs, 1 pass play for the Chargers. They'll throw it here. Rivers looking for Gates, and he makes the catch. What a play by Antonio Gates for a first down. A gain of 16.
Well, super job by Phillip Rivers being patient. You're going to see Antonio Gates right there, one-on-one locked up against Parker, and that's a hard task right there to cover Antonio Gates all over the field. One-on-one, you give him room to get off the line, free like that. Phillip Rivers lays it out there nicely, big completion.
40th catch of the season for Antonio Gates. It's first down. Rivers, quick pass, and it's incomplete. We'll go back to New York. Our first NFL Today update with JB and Coach Cowher.
Run right here. Sam Bradford on the drive, 3 for 4 for 32 yards, 7-0 Philadelphia.
Back to Andrew, Steve, and Steve.
All right, JB and Coach, thank you very much. And again, this is a familiar scene for Chargers fans. King Dunlop is hobbling off the field. We'll take a timeout and come back to Arrowhead in a moment.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the NFL. And by the Ford F-150. Every other truck is history.
Chris Hairston in at left tackle for the injured King Dunlap. We'll try to get an update as soon as possible on Dunlap, the left tackle, as the Chargers go back to the ground. And Melvin Gordon trying to fight for some extra yards. Dunlap injured his ankle against Kansas City 3 weeks ago, had not played the last 2 games, was finally able to get back in there today, and here in the first quarter he already goes out.
Well, Mike McCoy and the coaching staff kind of suspected that he may not go at least the full game. They thought Chris Hairston might have to take some reps anyway, so they're just ahead of schedule. They were ready for this scenario, but you see there, 20 different offensive line combinations. It's hard to win games like that.
3rd down and 7 as Danny Woodhead joins Rivers in the backfield. San Diego 1 for 2 on 3rd downs here in the opening quarter. Pressure coming from Ford. Rivers steps up, throws, and that pass is caught by Javonte Herndon for a first down. It was a low throw. Herndon able to reel it in for a gain of 12.
Well, give Phillip Rivers credit here on this one. He was under pressure. No, he's not known as a very athletic quarterback in terms of running with the football, but there's nobody better in the NFL buying that extra time, moving around in the pocket, giving himself that extra split second to deliver the ball down the field. Right there, another great example of why he is so difficult to defend.
Rain still falling here in Kansas City, has not stopped all day long. Rivers, quick pass to Ladarius Green. He gets to the 45-yard line before Derek Johnson makes a tackle. Johnson leads the Chiefs with 82 tackles on the season.
Well, Kansas City defensive coordinator Bob Sutton, known throughout the league as being a guy who likes to do a lot of very exotic things with his defense. Right there at the very last second, you saw Eric Berry running from the line of scrimmage back to the middle of the field. They were trying to show a blitz look to San Diego, kind of caught him in the wrong look.
Melvin Gordon is stuffed by Tamba Hali.
Tamba Hali, one of the great pass rushers. If you're not going to block a guy like Tamba Hali, this is what's going to happen to you right here. They just go away from him. They leave him on the backside. And, yeah, that's just unblocked. David Johnson maybe should have stepped out, but Johnson looked like he was looking for a different guy. Tamba Hali untouched. That's a mistake.
Between Antonio Gates and Johnson, one of those two was supposed to seal the backside.
So it's 3rd down and 9. 3 minutes to go, first quarter.
The cat and mouse game going on now between the defense and Phillip Rivers.
Just gets the play off. Parker coming with a blitz. Rivers in trouble. Rivers goes down. Sacked by Ron Parker, his 3rd of the year.
And you said it, Steve Berline. The safeties were moving all over the field trying to convince or to confuse Phillip Rivers. You see him shifting before the snap. They went man coverage, and Parker goes all the way around the horn, comes all the way in the backside as Rivers can't find anybody open, and that was a coverage sack. Phillip Rivers had no options.
And it is Mike Cyphers who's able to punt for the Chargers here. So Frankie Hammond from his own 5. Hammond across the 30, lost the football. Chargers appear to have fallen on it. There is a flag down. San Diego has recovered. Let's see what the flag is. Hammond also muffed a punt last week in Kansas City's win in Oakland.
Yeah, this is a Chiefs team that had gone 5 weeks. The penalty is against the Chiefs. We don't know what it was exactly, but penalty against the Chiefs, of course. Chargers will decline.
Pete Morelli's microphone is not working, but the penalty is against Kansas City. So the turnover will stand. It's Chargers football when we come back. Thursday, only on NFL Network, the Bucs chase for a wild card spot heats up when they take on the Rams. And then a special Saturday edition of Thursday Night Football as the Jets continue their playoff push against the Cowboys. 2 huge showdowns this week only on NFL Network. So following the turnover, 1st and 10 for the Chargers at the 25. They give it to Woodhead, who gets a couple before Allen Bailey makes a tackle. Let's go back to that punt return by Hammond where he coughed it up, and it was Jerry Atachu forcing the fumble.
Yeah, right there, gets the right arm in, and the ball's loose. And that, you know, it's going to be a factor when the ball gets wet. Particularly the ball boys and the guys who handle it are going to have a hard time keeping them dry. And we've talked to other quarterbacks. They say if it's going to be wet, everything needs to be wet, and it'll get better for the guys who handle it. But until that happens, it's a roll of the dice as to how good they can handle the football on any given play.
Play action. Rivers has time. Now on the run and just throws this one away. Pressure was coming from Jay Howard. First turnover by Kansas City in their last 5 home games. And keep in mind, DeAnthony Thomas is their normal punt returner. He's sidelined today for a 3rd straight game because of a concussion. That's why Hammond was back there.
If you noticed after that play, Phillip Rivers walking back to the huddle, waving at the defense, telling them to be quiet. Those guys are chirping at him. One thing you don't want to do, Phillip Rivers has a reputation for playing really well when he's angry. And there's some head coaches who tell their defenses, do not make Phillip mad. And Phillip already chirping at the defensive front of the Chiefs.
Play clock expires, a delay of game penalty. Oh, they're giving the Chargers a timeout.
Yeah, Mike McCoy had gotten one on the far side. He took it even before Phillip Rivers did.
Andy Reid not happy about that.
Yeah, and he's right. I mean, you're looking at the Andy Reid's out on the field. He is not happy. He thinks that was a flag. But the official on the far side was saying that Mike McCoy called it before anybody on the field saw it.
3rd down and 8 when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Better matters. And by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K.
Following the timeout, 3rd down and 8 for San Diego. Woodhead changes sides. Rivers out of the shotgun. Rivers with pressure coming incomplete. May have been hit as he threw that one. It was intended for Malcolm Floyd, and it's 4th down. As we go back to that timeout, and keep an eye on Mike McCoy, may have just got it called.
Yeah, there's no doubt he was all over. Look at him, he's right there. You see the clock right as it's turning 0. He says timeout, makes a gesture to the referee. Andy Reid didn't see that, but Mike McCoy was on top of the situation.
So now Josh Lambo is out for a 42-yard field goal attempt. He's made 13 of his last 14 kicks. His only miss in that stretch was last week. And this one is no good. Wide left, and we are still scoreless at Arrowhead Stadium. Alex Smith has started 4 for 4 in this first quarter, and those 4 attempts means that he is now 2nd all-time for the most consecutive pass attempts without an interception. The 4 attempts moved him past Bernie Kosar. Only Tom Brady has had a longer streak in NFL history. Incredible run by Alex Smith. His last interception was week 3, 76 days ago. He'll throw here, and he won't. He'll be sacked.
Yeah, it's a great game of cat and
Flag
mouse.
is down.
Eric Weddle and Phylon had a little game going. Weddle looked like he was going to blitz, and then he switched places with Phylon, let Phylon blitz.
But it's against the Chargers. Again, Pete Morelli's microphone is not working here in the rain today.
Yeah, it's hard for us to figure out who it is that they're calling the penalty on. But the bottom line is we're looking at it from this angle. We'll see if we can.
Eric Weddle and these guys out here, they switched places. Weddle was going to come off the top. He switched places with Phylon.
There's no way to tell who the penalty was called on, though.
Yeah. And that's where the pressure came from.
35 seconds left in the first quarter. Flag is down. They blow this one dead. A false start against the Chiefs. Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play and score, every game and every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now at cbssports.com/mobile. Each team penalized 3 times here in the first quarter, and this could be the final play of the opening quarter. Smith on the run, looking for Macklin, incomplete. He was covered that time by Patrick Robinson, but the pass was a bit too high.
Well, you talked about the streak that Alex Smith is on right now, moving into second all time. We're going to get a good look right here. The coverage that time by Verrett, and actually underneath coverage coming as well from inside. That was Patrick Robinson. But for Alex Smith, I cannot tell you how difficult it is to avoid an interception for 9 weeks as a quarterback at this level. Very, very difficult to do.
Oh, man, would I love to say something about Steve Berline's career as a quarterback.
I've had a few little streaks.
Wow. Another penalty.
You know, this is something you don't see from the Chiefs. During this streak, of course, they've been almost mistake-free. They've almost, you never see them in a 3rd and 19, 3rd and 18, now in a 3rd and 20. 2nd and 20. I mean, this is a team that just stays out of situations like this. And here in consecutive plays, or 2 out of 3 plays to get a false start, you know, just something you don't see from them. And that's, you know, it's obvious that's how you win games. You stay away from penalties like that. But the Chiefs really hurting themselves.
7 penalties in this first quarter by both teams. It's 2nd and 20. Smith gets away from Emmanuel. Smith on the run, dumps it down to Harris. Harris stepped out of bounds just past the 30-yard line, and that is the end of the first quarter. No score between San Diego and Kansas City. We'll come back to Arrowhead after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Start of the second quarter here at Arrowhead. No score between the Chargers and Chiefs. Injury update for San Diego. Left tackle King Dunlap is questionable to return with an ankle injury. As Philip Rivers, well, I would gather that if you have the flu, playing in the soaking rain is probably not helpful, but no one thought that Rivers would miss this game. He's such a gamer. His 157th consecutive start, the 2nd longest active streak among quarterbacks, only Eli Manning with more. 3rd down and 15 for Kansas City to start this second quarter. Movement on the line, a flag flies, free play. Smith takes a shot, and it's caught by Wilson. Albert Wilson with the big play. Into San Diego territory, a gain of 29.
Smart play. We talk about in the open the smartness of Alex Smith. He knew that they had gotten.
Number 51 defense. Penalty will be declined. Result of the play, first down.
He knew that Kyle Emanuel, the rookie, had jumped off sides, and it was worth taking a shot on 3rd and 15. He gave his receiver, Albert Wilson, a chance to go up and make a play. What a great decision that was.
Oh, yeah. It's a great debate about Alex Smith and Phillip Rivers, two completely different styles of quarterback, running completely different styles of offense, and the effectiveness of both and how the decisions they make. That was a brilliant play by Smith. Looks easy. It's really not.
Smith trying a deep shot down the sideline, and Verrett thinks he has it. He does! Jason Verrett, and there goes the interception streak for Alex Smith. His first INT since week 3 against Green Bay. 313 consecutive attempts without an interception. It's gone.
Well, Steve Berline and I were having a huge debate about Alex Smith and the chances he does take and the things that he doesn't do. This is the kind of throw he doesn't make because it's kind of a 50-50 throw. That's why he doesn't throw interceptions. And you look back to the last interception he threw, it was way back in the week 3 in the Green Bay game. And this was a bad throw trying to avoid pressure. And it turns into that as a long time ago. But it's been a great debate between you and I all weekend. I mean, the guy doesn't throw interceptions, but he also doesn't make big plays. A lot of his big plays are short passes, long runs.
He misses opportunities at some big plays because he's a little bit too conservative in his decision-making. But the flip side of that is Andy Reid can always count on him protecting that football. And right there, a first down play, taking a shot. Nothing wrong with doing that. You just got to understand, if you're going to throw that ball, it's got to be away outside where only your guy can make a play on it.
Wasn't all that bad a decision, but it wasn't a very good throw.
All turnovers will be looked at. That's what they're doing here at Arrowhead.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. An interception.
Third interception of the season for Jason Verrett. Our officiating expert, Mike Carey, is back in New York. Mike, do you agree with this call?
Yes, I like every part of this aspect of the officiating. The intercepting player had full control, went to the ground. The ball touches the ground, but he does not lose control. Good interception.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Chargers backed up second time, starting on their own 4 today, and that pass incomplete. Rivers looking for Ladarius Green.
The key, there's a difference between trapping the ball on the field if it hits the ground and having his arm underneath the ball and the ball hits the ground as well. You see Verrett there brought his left hand over to make sure he didn't lose control of that football, but his right arm was always firmly in control. Yeah, I think a great interception by him.
That's the way, it's a testament to what the rule and the interpretation this year. You have a great view like that, and it still stands. It's not confirmed. They're just saying, okay, we can't change it. That's how hair thin the margin is.
Rivers to Gordon out of the backfield. Gordon to the 10-yard line and out of bounds. It's third down. Rivers had thrown 3 straight incompletions before that pass to Gordon.
Yeah, this season in the NFL has been the year of the debate about what is a catch, what isn't a catch. I think you can anticipate next year and in the offseason this year, they're going to clarify that and make it more simple for all of us to know what that means.
Well, Roger Goodell has already come out and said they're going to.
They formed a catch committee this week that has several former coaches on it, including Ken Wisenhunt and Joe Philbin. Third down and 4. Rivers taking a shot, got a man in Herndon for a first down. Herndon spun out by Parker, but another catch by Javante Herndon. This one goes for 21.
Oh, this is a great job. You're going to see Herndon right here in the slot. All he's going to do is going to run up to the corner route. Phillip Rivers noticed the man-to-man coverage. Chiefs playing a lot of man coverage today. That's a lot of space to cover. You saw the defender literally planted his feet and froze. That allowed Herndon to slip right by him.
Frank Reich told us last night that Herndon's really opened their eyes a little bit over the last couple of games since he's seen extended playing time. Made a couple of plays that really stood out to the coaching staff. Back to the ground here with Gordon. Jumps over one Chief tackler and gets 3 on the play. Dontari Poe makes the tackle for Kansas City.
You know, it's one of the things about, the story for the Chargers has been injuries this year. Their offensive line was a mess for a while. Now they've started losing skill positions. But in the midst of all that, young players, and Frank Reich, the offensive coordinator, always looking for guys, said Herndon kind of opened their eyes. And you do find out about some of your young players in a difficult season like this, and there's some things the Chargers have found out that's going to, do well for them in the future.
Empty backfield for Rivers on 2nd and 7.
He's got to hurry up.
Rivers gets rid of it to Gordon, and Gordon is tackled at the 37-yard line. Sean Smith among those there for the Chiefs. It's 3rd down.
I'll tell you one thing, too, that you talk about this Chiefs turnaround, and of course we've talked at length about their defense, but it sounds simple, but it's really not. During that first string of games when they were 1-5 and to begin the season, one thing that's different as well, not only the turnovers, but the tackling. You never see a Chiefs guy get shaken off a tackle. The opponents the Chiefs play, the first defender for the Chiefs that gets to the football is the guy that makes the tackle. Nobody breaks tackles on this defense. It's been a huge boost for their production.
Chiefs have the 6th best 3rd down defense in the NFL, holding opponents to 33%. It's 3rd and 3. Inside handoff, Gordon up the middle, and Gordon has enough for a San Diego 1st down.
Well, you mentioned how good Kansas City is on defense on 3rd down. San Diego equally as effective offensively. A nice little change up for the Chargers. They don't run it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 very often, but they're the 6th ranked offense as far as converting 3rd downs in the NFL. There you saw Frank Reich.
San Diego 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. Still scoreless at Arrowhead. 11 minutes to go in the first half. Another handoff to Gordon, and not much room to run that time. And we spoke with Frank Reich and Mike McCoy about Melvin Gordon at length last night, because Gordon was benched again last week after fumbling twice. And we said, what happens if Gordon fumbles today? And Mike McCoy said it's simple. He's out of the game. And then we followed up, what about his psyche, a rookie? Do you worry about benching him for the 3rd time? And Mike McCoy said, no, I don't worry about it at all. His job to hold on to the football. That's what he's got to do.
And I'm worried about winning football games, what Mike McCoy said.
Quick pass, Rivers complete at midfield. And that's Antonio Gates with his 2nd catch of the afternoon.
Yeah, we've talked to Frank Reich. He told us we got a quarterback with Phillip Rivers who's an elite quarterback, fully developed. We've got a young, really budding superstar, they feel like, in Melvin Gordon. What ability he has. They've got an old, salty veteran at tight end. As you saw there, Antonio Gates just getting them. They've got to mesh all these pieces together to try to win football games behind an offensive line that's been shuffled more than any other line in the NFL.
Chiefs have the best defense in the NFL on 3rd down and 4th down and 1, 44%. It's 3rd and 1. 1 on the play clock. Rivers has to call a timeout. 2nd time Chargers have had to use a timeout with the play clock running down in this first half.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dodge, McDonald's, teaming up with the NFL like never before, and by Best Buy. Win the holidays.
Just 1 timeout remaining for San Diego as they had to use another one with time running down on the play clock. 9:38 to go, 2nd quarter. It's 3rd down and 1. Once again, the play clock at 2. Rivers hands off to Gordon. Stuffed again, Tambahali. 2nd time he's got Gordon in the backfield.
They're going to get up on the ball, I think. I agree with this decision, even though they lost a yard.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers getting them lined up once again, and they're going to go for it on 4th and 1, or 4th and 2 now.
Oh, and Rivers tried to draw him off sides.
And he did.
And he might have done that.
The question is, are the Chiefs going to be in the neutral zone, or did the Chargers reach across?
Orlando Franklin jumped as soon as he saw the Chief player move. I don't know who it was that flinched inside. They're going to try and draw that penalty.
Outside, neutral zone infraction. 5-yard penalty.
I think it was Dontari
First down.
Yeah, smart play by Orlando Franklin. He was looking for a movement out of that defensive line, because if the defense draws you offside, See right there, you saw it immediately, yeah.
That's
Orlando
not Poe,
Franklin.
yeah, that's Jay Howard.
5 penalties for 33 yards in this first half for Kansas City. They've done a great job of keeping the penalties down this year. However, last week they tied a season high with 11 in Oakland and already on their way there with 5 here in the first half. So a fresh set of downs for the Chargers. Once again, the play clock at 0 and a delay of game. Now Rivers is saying they should have reset the play clock.
Yeah,
That's exactly right.
He's right.
Delay of game.
No, I disagree with that. They had to enforce the
was
penalty.
called before the delay of game.
Now they're going to give them the
That'll be
timeout.
San
They
Diego's
took their third
and
timeout.
final.
And Mike
Another
McCoy's
timeout.
upset.
TV.
Timeout here at Arrowhead.
Well, as we said, we believe this is an officiating mistake. Look at the play clock right there and notice the referee right here in the middle. That ball has not been spotted and the play clock is running down. As soon as the ball is spotted, the referees are supposed to start that play clock. That is a mistake on the officials. That's what Mike McCoy was so upset about.
So Rivers now following the timeout, incomplete. Pass was low, intended for Herndon.
Yeah, that was almost a throwaway by Rivers. He knew he had no shot. The safety was coming right down on that crossing route, and he threw that into the dirt. But you're right. I mean, Steve Berline, as a former quarterback, you were going apoplectic when they didn't reset the 25-second clock and enforce the Chargers to use a timeout. And you're right, that's a blatant mistake. You can't. The Chargers wanted to get up on the ball, and the official was holding it, so they had to re-huddle, and they got a penalty.
Second down and 10. Gordon. And Gordon is wrapped up by guess who? Tamba Hali again. What a day for the 10th-year man out of Penn State.
Last point on that time management thing, though. The reason it's so important that the teams have that full 25 seconds is because a coach isn't going to call a play until he sees where that ball is spotted. That determines the play call.
Third down and 7. Rivers to Woodhead, one-handed catch, but Parker is right there to greet him, and he's well short of a first down. Great play by Woodhead, but Parker was right in the right spot.
And once again, Rivers has got to get rid of this on time. Great catch. I mean, Woodhead never even puts his left hand on the football, gets it and tucks it away, almost comes out on the ground, but you know, it's just great defense. Let him throw that short stuff, tackle him short of the first down, and then get your punt return team on the field.
So Hammond is back deep. Remember, he fumbled the last time for Kansas City on the punt return. Cypress trying to pin Kansas City deep, and he does. What a kick by Cypress. Down at the 4-yard line. Big play by the San Diego punter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Zales. Declare your love with gifts from Zales, the Diamond Store. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Back at Arrowhead Stadium last week, the Chiefs hosted their annual Pros vs. G.I. Joe's gaming event for military at Arrowhead Stadium. The movement started in 2007 with the hopes of connecting troops in Iraq with professional athletes through the use of video games. The event set up local Marines with their favorite Chief players as a thank you for their service to our country. On 1st and 10, it's Spencer Ware on the carry for Kansas City. The Chiefs lead the league in terms of best average starting field position. They average their own 32-yard line, but today their average starting field position is their own 14. They've been backed up thanks to San Diego, especially that last punt by Cypress.
Yeah, you can see the conditions have really made a difference in this game, both mostly in the kicking game and in the passing game. And it's turned out to be one of those, 6-3 battles, at least here in the first half.
When they played 3 weeks ago, it was 33-3 in favor of Kansas City. Back with Ware. And he gets to the 10-yard line. It'll be third down and short for Kansas City. And now Ware a little slow to get up. It's a Kansas City team that scored at least 30 points in each of their last 3 games. First time since 2006 they've accomplished that, but so far today they just haven't had the ball that much. This is their 16th play coming. San Diego's already run 27 plays.
Yeah, you're right, Andrew. 32.5 points a game the last 3 weeks. Combined with the fact that they're giving up the fewest points, second fewest points in the league over that time as well.
3rd down and 3. West in at running back. It is West. And West has a first down. Charkandrick West, very interesting. He averages 5.2 yards per carry up the middle, which is where he went right there. On the outside, he only averages 2.9 yards per carry, so keep him going up the middle if you're the Chiefs.
Yeah, and on this series, the Chiefs come out, and this is why they've been good and why they're a tough out. They come out 3 straight handoffs to get a first down out of the shadow of their own end zone. I mean, that's exactly the kind of offense you'd love to be able to run. If Alex Smith can hand it off in the shadow of his own goalpost and get first downs, things are going really well for you.
Spencer Ware back in, and Ware still going, moving those legs for a first down. Dragged down by Jaleel Adai, but Ware picks up 20.
The last time these two teams played in San Diego, Spencer Ware went for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. Today, right there, hitting the hole. That was the first true read option we've seen out of the Kansas City Chiefs. Alex Smith athletic enough to make that read and keep it if the defensive end crashes down. Right there, a good decision, letting Spencer Ware do the work.
Elevated off the practice squad on October 13th. This is his 8th game, and what a job Ware has done for Kansas City. Here's Macklin, and San Diego not fooled. Manti Te'o among those there for the Chargers defensively.
Well, this is one of those plays that looks good on paper. You're trying to use a little trickery. Bring across your wide receiver in motion and toss the ball to him right there. Actually, he was just lined up in the slot. But Kyle Emanuel, the rookie outside linebacker, did a great job of keeping his poise and discipline, made the tackle.
Yeah, that play looks good on paper, but today the paper's wet.
That's right.
A loss of 2 by Macklin as we tick inside 4 minutes to go in the opening half. West gets away from 1, and West up to the 45-yard line. Eric Weddle makes the tackle, but it'll be 3rd down and short.
Well, here's the key right here. The defensive end, if he crashes down, Alex Smith's going to keep this ball. But he didn't crash. He waited a second. Alex Smith gives that ball. That's the read option right there. Andy Reid has found something going. The Chargers better figure out how to defend that play right now, or they're going to see a lot more of it.
They haven't thrown the football yet on this drive. And that says a lot about where the Chiefs are thinking and what they think about this Charger defense. Their offensive line is having its way up front right now.
3rd down and 3. Let's see if they throw it here. Another read option with Smith on the keeper. Smith cuts back and picks up the first down. He is so underrated with his legs. He's 3rd in the NFL in rushing yards, and now a little extracurricular after the run by Smith.
Well, Alex Smith didn't like the hit that came in late. Alex Smith, though, when he dives forward as a runner, he's going to get hit like a running back. A quarterback, you got to understand that. He did not slide. He's not giving himself up. It's too late for the defender to pull off in that situation, but Alex Smith did not appreciate that.
It was a die who came in late.
And you could see he was trying to avoid Alex. He kind of pulled his shoulders away. So Alex Smith really has nothing to get upset about there. It could have been a lot worse.
7 plays on this drive, all runs, make it 8 for 8 as Kansas City keeps it on the ground. It's Spencer Ware inside the 45-yard line.
That is 4 straight read options in a row as we come up on the 2-minute warning.
And now Ware a little shaken up, still on the ground after that last run. Training staff out to attend to Spencer Ware as we've hit the 2-minute warning here in Kansas City. 14 continues later today on Fox, and then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN. Spencer Ware being looked at here on the Chiefs sideline, was able to walk off under his own power. Chiefs only have 3 running backs on their roster. Now Ware going into the locker room, so we'll try to get an update from the Kansas City PR staff just as soon as we can. 2nd down and 4.
Chiefs have had 56 yards rushing on this drive, 66 on the day.
All 3 timeouts for Kansas City. Pressure coming, Smith gets rid of it. Wilson's gone! Touchdown, Kansas City!
Alex Smith saw the defense, and he checked out of the play, and the defense didn't check out of their defense.
I'm going to show you what Alex Smith saw. Look at this right here. Down the middle of the field, there's nobody around. Alex Smith says, you know what? This slant is going to be tough to stop. And he was right. There's nobody back there in the middle of the field. He scanned it all, said, there's nobody here. We got to take advantage of that. Fantastic decision and execution by the Kansas City Chiefs.
2nd touchdown of the season for Albert Wilson, undrafted out of Georgia State. He's really emerged for Kansas City. And what a drive by the Chiefs. 9 plays, 96 yards. Santos for the extra point, and it's good. 1:53 to go in the first half. Wilson, 44 yards for the score. Tomorrow on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Stephen welcomes Jennifer Lawrence. Plus, later this week, Robert De Niro and Homeland's Mandy Patinkin. Only on CBS. That's the longest drive by the Chiefs in 2 years, since October 20th of 2013, when they went 97 yards against the Houston Texans. And every play, except for the last one, was a run. Finally, they throw it. Smith's pass to Wilson for the score.
That was the first pass by Alex Smith since he threw the interception, and he answered it in a big way.
Touchback, and San Diego will start at the 20. Coming up, Verizon halftime report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cowher. They'll have all the latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football only on NFL Network. That's all coming up on the Verizon halftime report.
Well, let me give you a reason why, Andrew, on that last play, why they went to pass. We showed how everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. You know why John Pagano, the defensive coordinator for the Chargers, called that defense? He was sick of seeing that read option go for 5, 6, 7 yards. He said, we got to put people up there and stop it. The Chiefs made a great adjustment, took advantage of it.
Chargers with no timeouts remaining. We'll start this drive at the 20. Rivers underneath to Gates, and he slides up to the 30-yard line. Keep this in mind, inside 2 minutes to go in the first half this year, the Chargers have scored 46 points. That's the 2nd most in the NFL. Only Pittsburgh has scored more. Rivers dumps it down to Woodhead, who picks up a San Diego first down. Against San Diego, cannot stop the clock.
And there's nobody better than Phillip Rivers in these situations. He knows dumping the ball to Antonio Gates, dumping it to Danny Woodhead. Get those 8, 10-yard pickups. Get yourself in position to make the bigger throw down the field.
Rivers over the middle, caught by Gates into Kansas City territory. A gain of 19 for Antonio Gates. That's his 4th catch of the half.
Yeah, this Charger offense is so good at getting first downs, moving the football to stay on the field, but they're not that good at scoring and getting a lot of points out of it. But they are good at moving it between the 20s.
Herndon makes that catch and goes out of bounds for a short gain.
That's been one of the big problems with this Charger offense. Yeah, they've got great numbers. They just don't score a lot of points. They aren't that efficient. They've got to get another well, they're going to try a field goal if they run out of time, but I think they need another 15 yards to make it doable. We've already had one as Lambeau has pulled one hard left and left them with a goose egg on the scoreboard. Another 10 yards, and it'll be an okay field goal. They need as much as they can get.
Lambeau missed from 42 in the first quarter.
Generally speaking, the 35-yard line is the target, but in these conditions, I think it does go to the 30. They need 15 yards.
1 on the play clock. They just get it off. Rivers sideline, and that one is bounced. Looking for Malcolm Floyd with 38 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think Phillip Rivers has so much on his plate. He's trying to do, I think, a little bit too much at the line of scrimmage. He's got to tell so many skilled players exactly where to line up, what to do. He's trying to change the protection. And there's so many moving parts and so many new guys out there. I mean, you got Vincent Brown out there who was signed this week, so he's got to make sure he knows what he's doing. And that's why they're running out of time on almost every play.
Rivers fires, deflected and picked off. Derek Johnson with the interception. His second of the season, and the Chiefs get the ball back with 3 timeouts and 29 seconds remaining.
You see Phillip Rivers, he's just going to take it into the locker room right now. One of the few quarterbacks that can get away with doing that in the NFL. Not happy with himself right there. You'll see as before he releases this football, he had to buy that little extra time moving right in the pocket, and that's what covered Malcolm Floyd. Malcolm Floyd was open. If Rivers would have been able to throw the ball on time instead of moving right there in the pocket, he would have been able to get this ball to Malcolm Floyd. But that little shuffle in the pocket made the ball a little bit late, which caused the deflection and a big play for the Chiefs.
10th interception of the season thrown by Rivers. As we told you, came down with the flu this weekend, and that's maybe one reason why he ran in the locker room right there. 3 timeouts left for the Chiefs.
Okay.
Smith. Complete. Jeremy Maclin into San Diego territory. A gain of 21 and a timeout called for by the Chiefs. 22 seconds to go. Alex Smith is 8 for 10 for 138 yards. 1 touchdown and the 1 interception. Right now, Kansas City has it at the San Diego 40. So from here, a 58-yard field goal, but they still have 2 timeouts remaining. Smith throws it away. Pressure was coming from Melvin Ingram getting in the backfield.
That ball didn't get to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And he was being hit. And Andy Reid, when we talked to him about who stands out on the Chargers defense, he, without hesitation, said number 54, Melvin Ingram, is the guy that really, on film, appears to be playing at a very high level.
Yeah, he called it a career year for Ingram, the 4th-year man out of South Carolina. And now a flag is in.
The quarterback was out of the pocket, but the ball must, by rule, get to the line of scrimmage, which it did not.
Well,
intentional grounding, number 11.
I didn't want
10-yard penalty. And lost it down.
I didn't want to say anything, but the ball didn't reach the line of scrimmage.
You did say that.
I know.
But I disagree with this call. I always have, because the quarterback is getting hit. He's attempting to throw the ball to the line of scrimmage, but if he's being hit as he gets rid of the football, he can't get it back to the line of scrimmage. That's a yard short.
Well, that's true. I don't think he was outside the pocket either. He was only 2 yards outside the hash where the ball was snapped.
Well, Moreeeee said that he was outside the pocket in their opinion. So, well, let's look at the tackle box.
Look where he's at. He's on the hash, 2 yards outside the hash. And
now they wipe it away.
All right, let's just go on and debate what's going on here.
Yeah, there was a receiver in the vicinity of that throw by Alex Smith.
And I think the fact that it did get that close to the line of scrimmage.
Second down.
The closest receiver was standing on the sidelines in a jacket.
Mike Carey back in New York. Mike, what did you see there?
Well, here's the rule. If the throwing motion starts and he's hit by a defender, then you give him the benefit of the doubt. When that's what happened in this case, I think it's a very good pickup, regardless of how they got there.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. Back in New York, Smith in trouble again, steps up, gonna keep it. Alex Smith has some room. Alex Smith still going, and out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 17 for Alex Smith, and the Chiefs move into field goal range.
This truly is the differentiator for Alex Smith. Every game the last 6 weeks now, he's had at least 1 carry of over 10 yards. He's very athletic, very fast. It was one of the reasons he was so highly regarded coming out of Utah. He doesn't like what he sees down the field. He sees green grass right there, makes a decision, picks up a nice chunk of yards to put them in field goal range.
Now, Andy Reid sent out his kicker, but now he's pulling him off the field. 7 seconds and 2 timeouts.
Wow.
They're going to call a timeout here. So they'll have one left. So Andy Reid is thinking maybe I can take either a shot to the end zone or pick up a few extra yards on an out route.
Well, I don't think you do it to pick up a few extra yards. I think you do it to take a shot. But at 7 seconds, you better be quick. I mean, I don't agree with it. I think you got to take the field goal. You're running a risk, even with the timeout. There's too much. This is going to be a game that it's going to be tough to score points on. You've already seen that. The conditions are such. I think you take the points.
I agree. I think you take the points. There you go. The kicker's going on the field now.
And you saw Thursday night with the Vikings, Teddy Bridgewater was trying to get a few extra yards. And we saw how that turned out.
Right.
So Andy Reid has reversed his course here and sent Santos back out, even though there's 7 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, you want to get greedy a little bit. If there was 10 seconds, you could say, Alex, take a shot at the end zone. But right here at 7 seconds, very, very dicey.
A 40-yard attempt for Santos, who's 26 for 32 this season. And through the rain, Santos boots it through. Kansas City with 10 points in the final 1 minute and 53 seconds of this first half.
You worry about the hold and the snapping the hold in these wet conditions, but these guys, it's autopilot for them. You know, those kickers and punters and snappers and holders, they just spend their whole practice working on these different things.
Yeah, and the conditions are a concern, but I think they're on top of it now. They've had all day to get ready for that. And those kicking balls aren't that wet. They get to stay undercover.
That's right.
NFL fans, order your holiday gifts from NFLShop.com today and save up to 20% off at the official store of the NFL, NFLShop.com. There it is, 10 points, all inside the last 2 minutes for Kansas City. And it's a 10-0 lead for Andy Reid and the Chiefs as they try to pick up their 7th straight win.
That's an onside kick.
How about this?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. That's the last play.
And time ran out. Well, it was great in theory. It'll help their stats later in the year when we read how they've done on onside kicks. So that brings the first half to a close with the Chiefs leading 10-0. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this message. And a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Light rain continues to fall here in Kansas City as we get set to start the third quarter with the Chiefs leading 10-0. Back in the booth with Steve Berline and Steve Tasker, I'm Andrew Catalan. These two teams met 3 weeks ago. San Diego only had 3 points in a 33-3 loss, and today San Diego's scoreless. So once again, this Kansas City defense looks lights out.
Yeah, Kansas City defense has really got the Chargers number to this point. Only 130 yards total offense for the Chargers. 1 of 5 on third down. That's where the Chargers have to make the difference up. Third down.
Yeah, that's right. And for the San Diego Chargers, they've got to find a way to answer the run game of Kansas City. Kansas City is physically dominating it up front. That dictates everything else that happens on that side of the football.
Let's take a look at some second half adjustments that you guys believe these teams need to make.
Yeah, for San Diego, I think they've got to find a way to incorporate their running game. They can't abandon it. Just keep handing it off. Keep Melvin Gordon involved.
Well, I think the Chiefs found something at the end of the first half, that 96-yard drive. They ran the read option, and San Diego did not have an answer for it. I think you keep coming back, let Alex Smith kind of control it with his decision-making, and then when San Diego comes up to defend that run, you're going to get some options in the pass game. That's what led to their big touchdown pass.
Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. How about this? First time since 2003 that San Diego was shut out in the first half of a game, and it came on September 7th of 03 against Kansas City. So it's been a long time since the Chargers have been held off the board in the first half of a football game, and Kansas City will get the ball to start the second half. Lambo boots it away. Davis will return this one from his own end zone. Davis across the 20, and Davis tackled at the 21-yard line as we take a look at the halftime stats. A slow start until the Chiefs put on 10 points late in the first half.
Yeah, yards per play. I mean, that's what's really getting San Diego today. I mean, 130 total yards. If you get more than 3.9 yards a play, that number will go up accordingly. But both teams have 2 turnovers, something that really has plagued Kansas City in their losses early in the season and has been in their favor in their wins. We'll see if that can continue for them and their defense.
Alex Smith, 8 of 11 for 138 yards in the first half. He'll start the second half in the shotgun. Read option, gives it to West around the outside, and Sharkandrick West out of bounds right near the sticks. He's going to be a couple of yards short.
Well, right there, you hit it, Andrew. They ran the read option again right away. You're going to see they've had success various ways offensively, running straight ahead with both West and Ware. But really what hurt the Chargers was the read option. And then, of course, the big conversion on third down by Alex Smith late in the first half that put him in position for that last field goal.
92 yards rushing today by Kansas City. They average 121 a game, which is 7th in the NFL. Smith, and that pass is incomplete, looking for Kelsey. He got tangled up with Ingram, the crowd looking for a call, but no penalty.
Well, the fans don't like it, but Alex Smith is lucky that this ball was overthrown, because Melvin Ingram was ready to undercut that thing, and they just got their feet tangled up. That's not going to be a penalty either way. But Alex Smith, lucky he threw that ball over the top.
First target today for Kelsey, and he was only targeted twice last week in Oakland. So he has not been a big part of their offense the last couple of weeks. Let's see what the Chiefs do here on 3rd down and 2. Smith has room to run in a first down. And he's knocked down late, and a penalty comes in. Jaleel Adai hit him late, and remember, it was Adai who came in late last time when Smith slid to the ground. Smith didn't like it. This time, a penalty comes in.
Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. Number 37 defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Well, it's always on the defender to pull off. It's his responsibility that if the player is going to have even a foot or out of bounds or anything, he can't lay a hand on him. And this right there, you see, that's, you can call it borderline if you like. You're never going to not get a flag on that as a defender, even though Alex Smith was close to maybe not being down out of bounds.
Especially if it's a quarterback.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Especially if it's a quarterback.
Alex Smith has 36 yards rushing. San Diego as a team has 22. And here goes West down the sideline out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Well, we just said it as we came back from halftime. The Chargers have got to have an answer for the Chiefs' running game. He's just going to come out and bounce this right out. I mean, this is a little counter play, and he just outruns it to the edge.
Well, the Chargers have struggled against the run all year. They're the 26th ranked team against the rush, giving up over 126 yards a game. The Chiefs are going to say, hey, if you don't stop it, it's going to be a long day for you.
I think it's telling. Smith had 11 pass attempts in the first half.
He'll throw it here over the middle, incomplete, looking for Wilson, who caught the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, this
second quarter.
Rarely do you see it in a league like the NFL with the condition of the league now. It's a throwing league, but if you've got a team like the Chiefs, I mean, you don't want to throw it unless you have to. And now the Chiefs are in the enviable position of being able to throw it when they want to throw it. They don't have to drop back line. But the Chargers, that's their offense. Phillip Rivers, they don't have a run game. They need their run game just to keep a defense honest. But the Chiefs, when you can run it, You get to call the shots both defensively and offensively, and they're using that to their advantage.
Injury update for San Diego. Cornerback Steve Williams out for the rest of the game with a hip injury. Second down and 10. Smith looking end zone, and that is incomplete. He was targeting Wilson again. It's third down.
Well, that was another little dangerous decision by Alex Smith, but threw it over the top. Note, he predetermined he was going to go to Albert Wilson on that one because Albert Wilson was not open. Alex Smith tried to look to safety to the right side of the field and then come back to Albert Wilson. That almost cost him there.
Yeah, the corner was bailing out. I mean, he was staying on top of that route, and Smith didn't know it until he got back over there and looked, and he just threw it over the top.
Kansas City 4 for 5 on third downs. Faced with 3rd and 10 here. 2 on the play clock. Smith with pressure coming. On the run. Flag is down. Smith out of bounds, and this could be a hold against Kansas City.
I think this was one you might accept, even though it's third down, to get him out of field goal range.
There are fouls by both teams on the field. Holding number 26, defense. Holding number 76. Offense penalties will offset. Third down.
Well, that answers that.
A late flag came in the secondary, and Patrick Robinson called for the hold. So they'll redo third down and 10.
We're at the top of your screen. They're going to call this on Robinson. They've got a handful of jersey right there at the top.
Robinson starting today for Brandon Flowers, the former Chief, placed on injured reserve yesterday. He's out for the rest of the year. So here we go again with third down and 10. Smith, quick slant, and it's dropped by Kelsey. And Alex Smith took a big hit as he delivered that football.
Well, it could have been a lot worse, Andrew. You're going to see Eric Weddle running right up. Watch right here. He comes straight up the gut, and if it wasn't for Charkandrick West picking him up and slowing him down, that would have been right in the chest of Alex Smith. He still came down. It could have been a disastrous injury for Alex Smith. I think he hit his hand on somebody's helmet, whether it was Weddle's or his own player. I don't know.
He got hit in the
head.
head.
Could have been bad.
He got hit in the head as well. That could have been a penalty on the Chargers for a blow to the head. You see that called all the time, and the officials missed it.
Instead, it's Santos out for a 46-yard field goal, and that one is no good. Snap looked a little low, and Santos misfires. So the Chiefs come up empty on their opening drive of the second half. You see the snap was low. It's Chargers ball when we come back. Cairo Santos not able to connect from 46 yards, low snap. And the Chargers get the ball back at their own 36-yard line. They give it to Gordon on first down. Spins his way up to the 38. Let's go back to the missed kick by Santos.
Well, we said in the first half the kicking balls were probably going to stay dry. This is a one-hopper to the holder. And then look right here. The ball, you see that is not the stellar hold. The ball's kind of at a 45-degree angle, and he's got his palm all the way down around it, reflecting it as it comes off. I mean, the holder sometimes can even be a bigger detriment than a rusher. Now he can block it himself.
Colquitt, the holder, James Winchester, the snapper. As Rivers completes it to Woodhead, who slips to the ground. Short of a first down. Tyvon Branch was on the coverage. And it's third down.
Obviously, that was a low snap, but the holder is paid to make that play and get that ball up. I mean, I've been a holder in Super Bowls and a lot of different times in my career. That guy's got to find a way to get that ball up, and you can't smother it with your hand either.
Right, you rarely have a bad hold when you get a good snap, but you should have a good hold even if you do have a bad snap.
Third and 4. Quick pass to Gordon out of the backfield. He's got the first down and more. Melvin Gordon inside the 45-yard line. A gain of 15 for the rookie out of Wisconsin.
Well, Phillip Rivers sees he's got man-to-man coverage. Watch right here. Derek Johnson is going to blitz right around the top through here. He's going to come around, and what ends up happening, Phillip Rivers knew with the bump coverage across the board, he had Melvin Gordon one-on-one in the flat. got the ball to him quick, and Melvin Gordon did the rest, showing his athletic ability.
Gordon still without a touchdown this season. Frank Reich told us last night he thinks he's still going to be a superstar in this league as Danny Woodhead maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Tamba Ali with another tackle for the Chiefs.
I think one of the reasons Melvin Gordon, he's had some flashes of some good things, but Frank Reich will tell you, Danny Woodhead is so versatile in the run game, and he gives them so many other options. There are certain situations where Woodhead's just a better option than Gordon at this point because of his ability to catch the football and the trust also, I think, that Phillip Rivers has in throwing him the ball.
The wind picking up here at Arrowhead Stadium, and it continues to rain lightly with 9:40 to go in the third quarter. Rivers has all sorts of time, throws across his body and complete to Malcolm Floyd. First down, Rivers to Floyd.
Really nice job by Phillip Rivers, buying a little extra time, moving to the right, then leading this ball into the middle and down low where only Malcolm Floyd can make that catch.
Malcolm Floyd in his 10th and final year. He is retiring at the end of the season. First and 10 for San Diego. Gordon on first down up the middle. Melvin Gordon right at the chains. Well, how about this? 2004, week 17, Kansas City and San Diego. Phillip Rivers came in and threw his first touchdown pass to Malcolm Floyd. It was also his first career touchdown reception. And we asked Malcolm Floyd last night, who's got the ball? And Malcolm Floyd goes, well, I've got it, but Rivers thinks that he has it. They gave him a dummy football, but I've got the real one. And then he goes, don't tell Rivers, because he really thinks that he's got it.
I guarantee you they told Rivers that he had the ball and
right.
that Malcolm got the other one. So no, we'll never know who's got the real football.
It was the end of the 2004 season, week 17. As Gordon did get enough for a first down there. So it's first and 10. At the 21-yard line. Gordon picks up 2. 14 carries today for Melvin Gordon. His career high is 18.
Watch the battle between Tamba Ali right there and Kenny Wiggins on that play. The two of them got after it like a couple of UFC cage fighters right there.
First time today that either team has been in the red zone. Gordon out of the backfield. Gordon is smacked down at the 16-yard line. It was Derek Johnson making another tackle for the Chiefs. What a season for Derek Johnson. 33 years old, and he said this is as fresh as he's ever been. We met with him on Friday. He said he gets 2 massages a week. Andy Reid created a recovery room that he goes to before practice. And he feels great, even though this is his 11th year in the league.
Pro Football Focus ranked him as the number 5 overall linebacker in the league. That says a lot.
Third down and 5 for the Chargers. Rivers steps up, he'll keep it himself, and he is tackled by D. Ford from behind, and Rivers appears to be about a yard shy of a first down, and Mike McCoy is going to send out his kicker, Josh Lambo.
Well, super job by Rivers tucking it and going. Kansas City was coming with pressure again. Rivers stepped up and didn't really have anywhere to go with the football.
Yeah, a lot of guys at the line of scrimmage. Rivers is going to climb in the pocket, and as he sees the defenders back out, you'll see the linebacker's got a beat on him. He's got a spy on, so he was watching Rivers, and that's what prevented Rivers from converting.
Lambo from 30, and it's good. So Lambo, who missed from 42 in the first half, puts this one through. It's 10-3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. Kelly Blue Book. Find out what you should pay for your next new car at kbb.com. And by The Revenant, January 8th, only in theaters.
San Diego is on the scoreboard. They had not been shut out in the first half of a game against the Chiefs since 2003. Josh Lambo puts 3 on the board here with 5:47 to go in the third quarter. Niall Davis back deep for Kansas City. And this one goes through the end zone for a touchback. You're watching the NFL on CBS. A season of fan favorites and incredible competition comes to $1 million conclusion. Find out who will emerge as sole survivor and see the Castaways reunite live Wednesday starting at 8/7 Central, only CBS. And that is host Jeff Probst in attendance today. We'll get back to that in a moment. First on first down, Smith to Macklin. Now here's the story. The Hunt family, who owns the Chiefs, they're big fans of the show Survivor. And back in May, 16-year-old Grace Hunt, who's the daughter of Chiefs chairman and CEO Clark Hunt, visited the Survivor set. And in return, they invited Jeff Probst to attend a game here at Arrowhead. So here he is checking out the Chargers game. So good to have Jeff Probst in the house here at Arrowhead.
The next time he'll pick a game in September instead of December.
Well, it's warm today, but just a little wet. As the Chiefs go to West on the ground. And West tippy-toes down the sideline and out of bounds. With Steve Berline and Steve Tasker, I'm Andrew Catalon. And actually at our production meeting last night, we had a vote. And we have voted Steve Berline off the crew. So you see 3-2.
What the heck?
Berline's out. Sorry. You have to go home now.
We'll see.
And I'm going to go hook up with Mr. Probst, and I'm going to get on Survivor. I'll win Survivor.
We'll see you at the airport, bro.
By the way, it wasn't a close vote either. It was not close.
It was.
All right. I'm going to go figure out how to get a hold of him.
4:40 to go in the third quarter. Smith keeps it again, and not much doing this time. Only quarterbacks with more rushing yards in the NFL this year than Smith are Russell Wilson and Cam Newton.
It's pretty good company. And, you know, you get these last 6 games where the Chiefs have kind of flipped the light switch and started playing the way they're playing. You know, his ability to pick and choose where he runs, I think, is second to no quarterback in the league. I think he does it better than anybody. He's so sharp and just doesn't miss much on the field.
Larry! Check that! Hey, Pat!
Man-to-man coverage across the board.
Smith to West, has some room. Flag is down. West makes a nice move. West down the sideline, has blockers. West, the distance, but what is the penalty?
I think they're going to call a pick on the Chiefs. I believe.
Pass interference, number 87, the offense.
Yeah.
10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's on Travis Kelce.
Yeah, Denzel Perriman had West in coverage, and you're going to see what happens. Watch Kelce. He comes down inside and he picks right there.
Yeah.
Actually, it was Melvin Ingram.
Yeah, that was an easy call.
The Chiefs have had 136 yards negated by penalties today.
One was an enormous punt return that put him down in the red zone on the first punt of the game, and it put him down inside there. It went all the way back to the 10-yard line, an enormous penalty to begin the game.
That's the hidden yardage, too. I mean, you talk about that doesn't show up in stats, but they can be game-changing plays that in a close game will make a big difference.
Well, it's like that, you know, getting a third down by penalty. It's a no play in the stat book, but it's an enormous drive continuation for the offense.
Tough day for Kelce. Still without a catch. On second down, they hand it off to Spencer Ware, and Ware doing some hard running. Left in the first half with a rib injury, but good to see him back out there here in the second half.
And that's a play right there that'll tell you how confident the Chiefs are right now. 2nd and 18, and they hand it off. I mean, there's not very many football teams in the NFL with the confidence in their run game to do it, and getting 8 yards to get it back to 3rd and 10 is exactly what they're trying to do. Get it somewhere in the 50-50 range where you cut that yardage in half and then try and pick it up on 3rd.
It's 3rd down and 10. Kansas City 4 for 6 on 3rd downs today. Smith in trouble. And he's going to go down. Alex Smith is sacked. Jerry Atachu now has 5.5 sacks on the season.
Watch Ricardo Matthews right here. He's going to come in and then all the way around. He's the one that causes the sack. He loops around the outside, and left tackle Eric Fisher cannot get out there to stop him. That forces Alex Smith to step up and eventually get down with the football.
First sack today by the San Diego defense, and now Colquitt will punt it to Javante Herndon. Good high kick, Herndon from his own 25, and he calls for a fair catch. Chargers football, they trail by 7.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Hyundai, an official sponsor of the NFL, and by Clean Crisp Coors Light.
San Diego has just 182 yards of offense, but they are only down a touchdown with 2:14 to go in the 3rd quarter. Chargers start this drive at their own 25-yard line in the rain at Arrowhead. It has not stopped the entire day. Melvin Gordon on 1st down. Has some room on the outside, but he's cut down with a flag coming in. Eric Berry with a great tackle. Let's see what the call is. It appears to be a hold against San Diego.
Holding. Number 75, offense. 10-yard penalty remains. 1st down.
That's on Chris Hairston, who's in for King Dunlap, who has not come back.
Right here at the end of the line, working there against Zamba. He just won't let him turn his hips, and he goes back and forth, and that call came in late. But once you get your hand as a tackle, if you get your hand outside the shoulder of the guy you're blocking, the officials almost automatically throw that flag in there.
Well, it looked like he was trying to take the jersey off and try to rip it up over his head.
Like a hockey fight.
So the penalty makes it 1st and 20 for San Diego with 2 on the play clock. Rivers to Gates, incomplete off the fingertips of Antonio Gates.
I'll tell you, you'll see Phillip Rivers make throws that no other quarterback does. He puts a lot of arc on this ball and drops it in. He makes more throws like that than any quarterback in the league. He's so confident in his ability to get it out there on time, even with the lack of velocity. Now, he's got the arm, and he will zing it in there, but he's so confident in his ability. You'll never see another quarterback put that much arc on a throw like that.
That's a catch that Antonio Gates makes more times than not. Instead, it's 2nd down and 20. Pressure coming, and Rivers just throws it to the ground. Frank Zombo is coming off the edge.
Well, Rivers saw the pressure coming immediately. From the backside, he did not have anywhere to go with that football. He knew he wouldn't have a chance to let anything develop up the field, so he just got rid of it.
The Chiefs were all over it. They saw it develop. Once Phillip Rivers dropped backwards, backpedaled, and then moved out to his right, they knew it was a screen, and nobody rushed him. He just threw it away into the dirt, knowing it was best to wait until 3rd down.
Let's see how aggressive the Chargers get on 3rd and 20. They just barely get the play off. D Ford coming, and D Ford with the sack. His first sack of the season.
Andrew, you hit it on the head. This has been happening all day long. You're going to see D Ford coming off the right side right here, just bringing the heat. But what happens when the Chargers let that clock get down to 0 almost every single time? Those defensive players are looking at the clock too. They see when the ball has to be snapped, and they get that jump, especially with the noise and everything else. It almost is a non-winnable situation for the Chargers offensive line.
Cyphers kicks it to Hammond. It bounces at midfield, takes a San Diego bounce, and Hammond scoops it up as he goes to the ground, gets back up, and tackled at the 37-yard line. 45 seconds left in the third quarter. Kansas City by 7. 10-3 Chiefs lead tonight. What went into making the new Star Wars movie? Find out when 60 Minutes goes behind the scenes with director J.J. Abrams tonight, only CBS. Alex Smith 1 for 5 passing so far in the second half. Starts this drive at his own 35. Gives it to West, who's cut down by Jaleel Adai. Nice play by the third-year safety out of Central Michigan.
Well, I will tell you, that San Diego Chargers defense on that play was ready to roll. They had 5 guys coming like they were shot out of cannons, led by Adai, but great pursuit by everybody to that football.
Yeah, that was the first time where they actually cut the corner off in the second half. The Chiefs have been trying to get to the edge and been doing a good job of it. John Pagano there, the defensive coordinator of the Chargers, finally getting his guys to set the edge of the defense and pursue to stop the play.
Chiefs do not have to run another play in the quarter, and that will be the end of the third with Kansas City leading 10-3. We're back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Thursday only on NFL Network, the Bucs chase for a wild card spot heats up when they take on the Rams. Then a special Saturday edition of Thursday Night Football as the Jets continue their playoff push against the Cowboys. 2 big games this week only on NFL Network. Start of the fourth quarter here at Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs trying to hold on for their 7th straight win. And Alex Smith's pass is complete to Demetrius Harris. And the extra effort gets him within a yard of a first down.
Well, you know he's going to be tough to tackle. The guy was 6 feet 7 inches tall, 230 pounds in his second year out of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. And he watch how he just refuses. A guy like that tall, you fall forward, it's a 2-3 yard gain. I mean, that's just great physical effort.
He did not play football in college. He was a basketball player at UW-Milwaukee. Got an opportunity with the Chiefs and has made the most of it now in his second year. 3rd down and 1. First down run for Charkandrick West. A little extra at the end for West as the Chiefs move the chains, a gain of 10.
Such a big confidence builder when everybody in the stadium knows what you're going to do, and you still gash it for 7 or 8 yards right up the middle. The offensive linemen, the big boys up front, really get excited about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and you talk to that Harris catch just before that, everybody jumps in on it. Nobody wants to get tackled. Nobody wants to be the guy that doesn't give a full effort. It's like a virus that spreads through your team with an attitude that you can win every play.
Smith to the air on first down. Nobody home. He'll keep it himself. A flag comes in the backfield. Smith slides down just shy of the 35, but this is going to go against the Chiefs.
Holding. Number 75 offense, 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
It's on Ja Reed, the right tackle.
It's always amazing. The official will throw the flag into the line of scrimmage, and always the guy who gets caught holding turns around and says, well, it couldn't possibly be me, and nobody else even knows the flag's been thrown. The guy who's guilty always denies it before anybody else even knows the flag's been thrown.
That's 7 penalties now on Kansas City. This one backs them up to their own 47-yard line, 1st and 20. Chiefs have 141 yards rushing today. They average 121. Ingram coming. Ingram has got there. A sack of Alex Smith. Sack number 6 this season for Melvin Ingram.
Well, Melvin Ingram is in Ja Reed's head right now. That's 2 plays in a row. Right here is Ja Reed. Ingram just comes straight up the field. You're going to see the pressure off of that side. And Ja Reed is just, last time he got bull rushed right back into Alex Smith. This time, Melvin Ingram used the speed to get around the edge.
Yeah, that's two pretty bad plays for Reed.
Yeah, you could see the frustration with Reed slamming the ground there in the background.
Coming in, the Chiefs had allowed 39 sacks on the year, tied for the 4th most in the NFL. They go back to the ground here with Niall Davis. And that's Davis's first carry of the game.
Tackled by Melvin Ingram.
Yeah, Niall Davis has given them some good plays. You watch here the contact.
That was a dive flying in and making that big hit.
I can't, you know, I look at you and I can't believe I ever played this game. That's a train wreck.
That was a collision, yes.
Wow.
What is he looking at me have to do with it?
I know you. I know you took hits like that too. I mean, it's.
I thought you were.
And people say, "Wow, does that hurt?" Yeah.
3rd down and 19. Smith to Kelsey, his first catch today, well short of a first down. Another tackle for Jaleel Adai. And out comes Dustin Colquitt to punt it away.
Well, the penalty and the sack right there setting these guys back. The Chiefs have really been pretty efficient offensively, but the penalties have been what's really set them back. They've had a lot of 2nd and 3rd and long.
Yeah, you might think they're getting conservative. I think they did that because, listen, you take a sack, you take a couple of penalties. You know what? Just get out of this series and punt them deep.
Nobody better than punting the ball inside the 10 this year than Colquitt, but not this time as it bounces into the end zone for a touchback with 11:02 to go in the 4th. Welcome back to soggy Arrowhead Stadium. 11:02 to go, 4th quarter. The Chiefs lead 10-3. Chargers will start this drive at their own 20. Rivers fires, caught by Green for a first down. But Darius Green all the way up to the 43-yard line. D. Ford finally caught up to him, but not before a gain of 23.
Nice play design by the San Diego Chargers. Before the snap, flexed out David Johnson way out to the right. That created a little bit more space for Darius Green to get off the line. He's a guy that, you know, in conjunction with Antonio Gates, that's a really good tight end duo as far as catching the football, making plays.
Chargers have not scored a touchdown in 2 weeks, 20 straight drives without a touchdown. Can they get one here? Rivers incomplete, hit as he threw the ball, looking for Vincent Brown. But you have to go back to the Jacksonville game in week 12 when San Diego last scored a touchdown.
A lot of pressure coming on this play. The pressure got Phillip Rivers from the backside, but they were coming off his front side as well. Actually, it was right up the middle. Dontari Poe that drove the center. Trevor Robinson right back into Phillip Rivers' lap.
Rivers, deep shot, wide open is Floyd, and he dropped it. That's his first drop of the season and just the 11th of his career.
Malcolm Floyd does not drop passes, and he has seldom, if ever, had an easier deep ball to catch than that one right there. Boy, that just kind of sums up the whole season for the Chargers right there.
We spoke to Mike McCoy, and he said, yeah, he was just whenever anything goes wrong with him, he is crushed. He is the most soft-spoken, most pure-spirited guy, and he is totally sold out for his team. You bet he wants to make up for that. What a drop. It hardly ever happens to him. And now, once again, Phillip Rivers caught with the play clock.
Timeout, San Diego.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Honda. Hurry in for great deals during Happy Honda Days. FedEx, how the holidays arrive. And by State Farm. Find your agent at statefarm.com.
It is loud for 3rd and 10. 10:07 to go in the 4th quarter. is sacked. D. Ford with his second of the day, and Rivers never saw it coming.
Rivers thought he was protected back there, and he wasn't. The far side top of your screen, Chris Harrison should have, he didn't even get out of his stance.
He didn't hear the snap. Look at that.
Couldn't hear anything and just completely whipped.
And Hammond did not call for a fair catch. Reverses field and now has some room. Hammond gets by Itachi, but finally Stuckey is able to catch up to him. 9:24 to go, still a 7-point game in Kansas City. Saturday, the CBS Sports Classic shows off 4 teams where big games are part of the drill as the Bruins battle the Tar Heels and the Buckeyes tangle with the Wildcats. It all begins with inside college basketball. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs from their own 37-yard line. They lead at 10-3 as Kansas City tries to lock up its 7th straight win. They start this drive on the ground, and we want to go back to that last sack by D. Ford.
Well, here's D. Ford right here on the end of the line, but watch left tackle Chris Hairston right there. It's like he does not even understand that the ball is snapped. He's not out of his stance. Ford has passed him now. Understand, people, that this is practiced all during the week, and all these offensive linemen have been in loud stadiums before. There's usually some sort of a relay system, or the left tackle's got to be looking inside himself to make sure he sees when that ball is snapped. You can't let Phillip Rivers get hit like that.
West remains the running back. He got the carry on 1st down. Spencer Ware questionable to return with a rib injury. Pressure coming. Smith gets rid of it. It's caught by Wilson, and Jason Verrett spins him out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down.
8 minutes and counting here in the 4th quarter. This is a time when the Chiefs are starting to think. Now, we saw them go a little conservative at the end of that last drive for them when they punted away because they took a penalty, then they took a sack. But when they're ahead of the sticks on 3rd down, you can expect Andy Reid to stay aggressive. They're going to go after this Charger defense just like they would have if it was the 1st quarter.
Macklin has been quiet in the 2nd half. He had that big start in the 1st quarter. Haven't heard much from him since. Let's see if they go there on 3rd and 4. Smith to Kelsey, and with forward progress, he's got a 1st down right at midfield.
And this is playing right into the Chargers' hands. This is the style of game they want. They're a team built to play with the lead, with their style, with their quarterback, with their skill position across the board. They want to run the football, pound it up. They'd love nothing more than to run about 5 minutes off the clock on this
Yeah, you talk
drive.
about the Chiefs. It plays in the Chiefs' hands, not the Chargers.
That's what I said. Did I say Chiefs or Chargers?
You said Chargers.
I meant the Chiefs.
I knew you
The
did.
team in red is who I'm talking about.
Smith to Wilson on the slant, makes the catch, and tackled at the 40 by Patrick Robinson.
Well, we saw this play early in the 1st half go for a touchdown, just that quick slant on man coverage. The Chiefs, or the Chargers, doing some exotic stuff up front in the box, and they leave those guys one-on-one, and Alex Smith, it's throw and catch.
Pretty poor coverage by Patrick Robinson, though, on the outside. He had inside leverage. He should be breaking on that slant route. He made that way too easy.
1st and 10 as we move closer to 6.5 to go in the 4th. Chiefs continue to throw. Smith almost intercepted. Jaleel Adai had a beat on that one, and if he caught it, he was gone the other way.
You are 100% right on that, Andrew. Adai read this thing perfectly. He's in great position. I don't know what Alex Smith was looking at, but right there, Adai knows that was his chance to make a huge impact on them. You look at all that green grass in front of him. There's no way anybody's going to catch him.
Yeah, Alex Smith thought he was going to drop into the middle 3rd of the field, and he broke on that and almost turned it into a touchdown.
24 runs, 24 passes today. As Smith lost the ball, picks it up and gets a couple of yards out of it. But it'll be 3rd down. Big 3rd down coming here with 6:20 to go.
Yeah, this is just ball hanging right here.
Well, what happened, he caught the left elbow of his running back. The ball, as he went to pull it back to pass, he caught the left elbow. I don't know if that was where.
He told us Friday he never wears gloves either, maybe on his left hand, but he's got two gloves on today. But
that's not what caused the fumble. He caught the left elbow. You can see right there. I've been there in those situations where the running back comes a little closer than he's supposed to, and it just bumps the ball out of your hand.
3rd down and 9. Chargers defense needs a big stand here. They bring pressure. Smith to Kelsey, and he can't get away from Eric Weddle. The 9th-year man out of Utah makes a big stop on 3rd down.
This is Weddle. He's going to follow Kelsey. Kind of moves over, sees him. He came from all the way on the other side of the formation, trying to make Alex Smith think nobody was going to cover Kelsey, and he made up the ground across it. And look at Alex Smith knows he thought he had him, but Weddle fooled him.
Alex Smith and Weddle played together 2 years at Utah. Their catch by Herndon at the 10. With 5 minutes to go, San Diego gets the ball back. Can they score a touchdown? We're back in a moment.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Walmart. Walmart has everything you need to share wonder every day. And by Subway. Make your sub deluxe with 50% more meat.
Still lightly raining here at Arrowhead Stadium. Been that way the entire day. Wind holding steady right now as the Chargers offense is back on the field. It's been 2 weeks and 21 straight drives that the Chargers have failed to score a touchdown. They trail by 7 here with 5 minutes to go. They have 2 timeouts remaining. With Steve Berlon and Steve Tasker, I'm Andrew Catalan, our entire NFL on CBS crew from Arrowhead Stadium. They give it to Woodhead on 1st down, and Woodhead picks up 3. Well, more missed opportunities for the Chargers today. Had a bunch last week, and it continues against Kansas City.
Yeah, it starts with Malcolm Floyd dropping that, and then on the next series for Kansas City, a dive right through his hands with nothing but green grass and open spaces in front of him. That's 2 plays that would have put the Chargers, at least, if not in the end zone, certainly in scoring position in a game they've trailed by only 1 touchdown.
On 2nd and 7, Rivers, pressure coming, and Rivers is sacked. Jay Howard comes up with the sack.
Well, Phillip Rivers last week was sacked 4 times and hit 11 times against Denver. It's been more of the same today. Under pressure constantly, especially in this second half. That right up the gut there. Jay Howard just pushing Orlando Franklin right back into Phillip Rivers' lap. Not much of a chance. Now you're looking at 3rd and 15.
Rivers has been sacked on his last 2 dropbacks, and now 4 sacks on the day for the Chiefs defense. Rivers, all he's got to Floyd, and it's caught by Floyd. It was juggled around. Marcus Peters had a chance at an interception, and somehow Malcolm Floyd comes down with it.
When he hit the ground, I don't think he knew he had the football, and it ends up right on his hip and his stomach, and there it is.
So Malcolm Floyd dropped one of the easiest catches you'll ever see, and he makes one of the tougher plays you'll see all here in the second half.
Ball never even touches the ground.
What a great catch.
It goes for 41 yards, and the Chargers have it at the 47-yard line with 2:45 to go. Remember, 2 timeouts left for San Diego and the 2-minute warning. Rivers with pressure coming again. He goes down. 5th time today, and that's number 3 for D. Ford.
That's D. Ford working Chris Hairston again off that left side. He got off the ball fine that time, but and actually that wasn't a bad job by Chris Hairston. It was the pressure up the middle, which Kansas City's been doing a good job pushing the pocket. That forced Rivers out to his left, and Ford able to run him down.
Well, I mean, it reminds me a lot of Derek Thomas and the way he used to come off the edge for Kansas City. You get that snap count problem with your left tackle, and he's got to turn around and sprint backwards just to get a piece of it.
That's a bad job by Rivers, not getting a playoff before the 2-minute warning. They should have ran one there. Instead, it's a timeout to go at Arrowhead Stadium. Phillip Rivers has been sacked a season-high 5 times today. His Chargers trail by a touchdown. 2 timeouts remaining for San Diego. On 2nd and 15, Rivers over the middle to Floyd. Juggling catch, but they only get a couple of yards on the play. Derek Johnson makes the tackle. We are in 4-down territory if you're San Diego.
That's a play you almost wish Malcolm Floyd didn't catch, because he got you 2 yards and wasted a bunch of time.
Yeah, now Phillip Rivers once again trying to get everything lined up with 23 seconds left on the play clock, ticking. They've got to get this play off as fast as they can.
Rivers pump fakes, now throws, caught by Antonio Gates. And Gates is 3 yards short of a first down. So it's 4th and 3. And Mike McCoy calls a timeout. He's got 1 remaining.
Yeah, and this is it. I mean, it's do or die now for the Chargers. The final offensive drive they're going to get, and it's all or nothing.
Coming up on the Subway postgame show, JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower. They'll have all the latest NFL scores, highlights, and analysis. It's all coming up on the Subway post-game show as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. Right now, Kansas City is the number 5 seed. If they win out, they are in the playoffs. Jets and Steelers are winning right now, so a big one for Kansas City to keep pace and try to improve to 8-5 on the year.
Well, as we've documented, this Chargers offense has been struggling the last few weeks. You got to go to your playmakers. You're down. You don't have Keenan Allen. You don't have Stevie Johnson. You don't have Dontrell Inman. That gives you Antonio Gates or Ladarius Webb, I think, are your 2 best options in this situation, along with Danny Woodhead.
San Diego 2 for 9 on 4th downs this year, and Kansas City has called a timeout.
And I said Ladarius Webb. I meant Ladarius Green. The tight end for the Chargers.
Yeah, this is a point too. I mean, you got to pick up the yardage here. That's all there is to it. Even if it means handing it off. I mean, then you can get up and you can spike it on first down again. They got to get to the end zone.
Next Sunday, an NFL on CBS doubleheader brings on the push for the playoffs. First, Marcus Mariota and the Titans take on the Patriots, and then Demaryius Thomas and the Broncos battle Big Ben and the Steelers. Check your local listings. It all begins with your Super Bowl 50 team on the NFL today.
It's interesting defensive call for the Chiefs, because you know you gotta think that the Chargers are not thinking a deep pass here. They're just thinking 3 yards. So you might, it's a spot where if you're a defense, you might want to squat on some routes, because there's no way you got to believe that the Chargers are going to go deep.
If they don't get it, the game is over. Kansas City can take a knee and run out the clock.
That's
4th down and 3.
That's the best deep matchup at the bottom. That's Malcolm Floyd.
Rivers, and it's caught over the middle. Javonte Herndon picks up the first down.
That's a great tough catch in traffic. Well defended too. Oh man, Smith was all over him. You can't do it any better than that unless the play's incomplete. Great job by Sean Smith.
They have to go quickly inside. 1 minute to go. Rivers sideline incomplete. He was looking for Ladarius Green, but that stops the clock with 54 seconds remaining. How about the confidence in Phillip Rivers to go to Javonte Herndon, who had 8 catches on the season coming into the day. He goes to him on 4th down.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Andrew. To show that confidence in the biggest situation of the ball game, stick it in there in the tight coverage against arguably their best corner. What a great show of confidence from Phillip Rivers, and a great play.
Rivers taking a deep shot for Floyd, and it's incomplete. The closest man there was Tyvon Branch of the Chiefs. And Dontari Poe sent Rivers to the ground on that throw.
Pressure on the quarterback from Dontari Poe.
Chargers have had their chances today, and this is one of their best ones when Malcolm Floyd dropped what could have been a touchdown earlier in the second half.
Not to beat a dead horse, but that truly is the key play of the game to this point.
It's been 2 weeks since San Diego has scored a touchdown. 3rd down and 10, 47 seconds to go, 2 on the play clock. Rivers just gets it off, pressure coming, Rivers to Woodhead, incomplete. Once again, it was D. Ford working on Chris Hairston, and Hairston's had a rough go with Ford.
All right, you got multiple guys lined up on Hairston, so he's just trying to back out of there and get the first one that shows. D. Ford once again putting the pressure on, but it's not going to get better. I mean, Chris Hairston's got to do a couple of things. One, maybe take a little wider stance so that Ford has a further way to go, but he's also got to cheat as far off the line as he can to get back off the line of scrimmage. Nevertheless, it all comes down to this.
They got to convert on 4th down and 10. Rivers over the middle, and it's caught by Gates. Another first down. Now, do they use their timeout?
They do.
Chargers have called their final timeout. After another 4th down conversion.
Philip Rivers just continues to put the ball back over the net into the Chiefs' end. Just keeps it in play and stays alive.
Well, what can you say about Antonio Gates? No doubt he's not the same player that he was, and he's not the threat in terms of scaring a defense the way that he used to. But when you look at what he's done for Philip Rivers over the years in clutch situations, was there really any doubt who he was going to go to on that play? Who's going to give a chance to make a play?
31 guys in Philip Rivers' career have caught touchdown passes from him, but Antonio Gates has caught 76 touchdowns. There's a relationship there that goes far beyond the lines on a football field, and when things come to push and shove, Philip Rivers is throwing it to him.
No timeouts left for San Diego. Remember, they had to burn one earlier in this half with the play clock running down. They could sure use it right here, and they don't have it. From the 23-yard line. Rivers chased by D. Ford again. Rivers just throws it away. D. Ford making just the 2nd start of his career, and he has had one of his finest games as a pro.
Yeah, it's just a complete mismatch up here at the top. When you got the speed that D. Ford has, he's not doing anything tricky. That time he came back underneath Chris Hairston. The big man just can't shadow him that well. You got a guy who's much smaller, much quicker, and he's also in his head.
7 tackles, 3 sacks, and 5 pressures for D. Ford. With 30 seconds left, still time for San Diego to throw the ball in the middle of the field. Rivers taking a shot. There's a lot of contact, and no flag. Malcolm Floyd got in a collision with Ron Parker at the 5-yard line, and Philip Rivers was begging for a penalty.
I don't know how that happens. I mean, you got these guys up here. They're going to, and Floyd's going to come up on the outside. Watch as he comes up the slot. He's going to break in and bang.
But that's incidental. I mean, that wasn't holding. They're both breaking on the ball. I mean, Malcolm Floyd, if anything, called for a pick.
Well, exactly.
Because the person that was wide open was the guy on the sideline.
26 seconds to go, 3rd down and 10. Again, no timeouts left for San Diego. Rivers looking for Gates. A lot of contact and no call again. Incomplete. It's 4th down.
Yeah, and Philip trying to go for it right there. There's 20 seconds left to go after that incompletion. And he's trying to work the officials. Look at on the out and up.
That was perfectly clean coverage.
Yeah, it's great coverage. Great coverage by Branch.
Yeah.
Just turn around, play the football. Don't leave him any room to make a play.
So San Diego's already converted 2 4th downs on this drive. They have 4th and 10 here.
You're going back to Antonio Gates? I don't know. He's the one that obviously you'd be thinking here.
I'm saying Ladarius Green, the big tight end at the end at the line of scrimmage.
Kansas City calls timeout. They want to talk things over before this big 4th down and 10 play.
I think the reason I think they're going to go to either Gates or Green is that they're the most experienced guys. I mean, everybody else, I mean, they're the #1 guys. They're still the option even when everybody's healthy. And with all the injuries, with Stevie Johnson out, with Dontrell Inman out, I think those are the guys you look at. Plus,
and they're big targets.
Right.
They're big targets, and they're also almost in the red zone here. This part of the field is where your big targets become more valuable because you got a lot less space, but you need the big body.
Here's where San Diego has to be careful. If they complete a pass in the middle of the field, they're going to have to really hurry to get to the line and spike the ball. Just 20 seconds left.
That's plenty of time to get up and spike it, but they won't have much time left. They'll have about 7 or 8 seconds left.
First things first, they have to convert on 4th and 10. Rivers, and that pass is caught inside the 5. Vincent Brown, who was signed on Tuesday, and now San Diego has to hustle to the line. D. Ford is well behind the play. D. Ford just gets back. No, he didn't. A penalty on D. Ford. He did not get...
Sorry, Kansas City. After this is the goal, 1st down.
So D. Ford did not get back in time.
One play. They've got time for one play.
The ball will be on the half-yard line. It's going to be halfway. Well, Pete Morelli, he called that from way behind. He got it just right.
All right, so if it's one play, what are you doing here if you're the San Diego Chargers?
Well, it doesn't matter whether you run or pass. It actually is an advantage to the Chargers in this situation because this is the last play of the game, no matter how you look at it. So the Chiefs, you figure, they're gonna take a timeout right now, but you figure they're gonna be playing pass because the Chargers have struggled in this 3rd or 4th down and short situation.
Coming out of that huddle, the Chargers were going empty, so they're not going to run it unless it's Phillip Rivers.
The Chargers do not have a rushing touchdown since week 1, so you would expect them to throw here on 1st and goal.
But also what they do a lot of times, they'll line up in that empty package with Danny Woodhead and then shift him back in. He's the only guy with their 2 rushing touchdowns this year. Here's the big catch.
Vincent Brown was out of work all year. Chargers in desperate need of a wide receiver. Bring him in for a workout on Tuesday, sign him, and he makes a 4th down catch, his first of the day.
Into great coverage by Marcus Peters as well. That ball was thrown perfectly, and an unbelievable big-time catch by Vincent Brown.
Brown, Green, Floyd, and Gates all out there, and Danny Woodhead lines up next to Rivers.
I think they're going to give it to Woodhead here.
Rivers didn't get it off. A delay of game out of a timeout.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
You know, I hate to blame it. I mean, the fact is a fact. That's Phillip Rivers has got to give his center more time to get that ball snapped. I put that on Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, if the clock would have been running on, if the clock would have been running, it'd been a 10-second runoff and the game would be over. But because the clock was stopped, it's just the 5-yard penalty. Otherwise, that game would have ended the game right there.
That's right.
So they spot it on the 6-yard line.
Gates at the bottom. Ladarius Green and the slot up top.
Rivers out of the shotgun. Rivers, end zone, incomplete. Looking for Green, but there's still 2 seconds left on the clock. They'll get one more crack at it.
Boy, this was close.
Wow.
Ladarius Green could have caught this ball, I believe. It was the right hand one-on-one coverage. If that ball's a little bit lower, that's a catch.
Yep. Ron Parker and Barry were converging it. You can see just that close.
This will be the last play, barring a defensive penalty from the 6-yard line.
The Chiefs,
2nd and goal.
They're not going to let Antonio Gates beat him here. You see the double coverage right here.
Rivers with a flag down. They blow this dead, and Chris Hairston had a false start. Before that play, they blew it dead.
False start, number 75, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down. Please set the game clock for 2 seconds. Thank you.
Yeah, the crowd is all out. Can't we decline the penalty? Well, you can't do it because it's pre-snap. And it's close, but you can see we've been seeing it all day. Harrison trying to get that edge. And it's not a 10-second runoff because the clock wasn't moving.
So now the ball is placed at the 11-yard line. And once again, the final play, barring a defensive penalty. Rivers with pressure coming. Rivers fires for Woodhead. Incomplete. And that'll do it. The game is over. The Chiefs win their 7th straight.
It was a game effort by the Chargers to come in today nicked up and depleted on their skill positions offensively against a team that was playing well on a hot streak. They gave it a game effort and got down to the last play to send it to overtime and perhaps a 2-point conversion for the win, and that's how close they were.
How fitting for Kansas City that D. Ford was on the coverage on that last play. D. Ford, who had his best game as a pro with 3 sacks of Rivers, covers Woodhead out of the backfield and breaks up that final pass intended for Danny Woodhead. What a day for D. Ford as Kansas City moves to 8-5 on the year. Subway post-game show coming up with JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cowell. They'll have all the latest NFL scores, highlights, and analysis all coming up on the Subway post-game show. Let's update the playoff picture in the AFC. 7 straight wins now for Kansas City. They go to 8-5. And remember, they don't play a team with a winning record the rest of the year. They finish at Baltimore, Cleveland at home, and Oakland at home. Steelers and Jets trying to keep pace with Kansas City.
Yeah, you've got to say Kansas City is far and away in the driver's seat with the win today at home. 2 of their last 3 at home. Incredible story with the comeback of the Chiefs this year.
Chiefs win it 10-3 for Steve Tasker and Steve Berline. This is Andrew Catalan saying so long from Kansas City. You have been watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Coming up, the Subway postgame show. That'll do it from Arrowhead. The Chiefs win their 7th straight game.